Welcome. I'm your host, Christina Haskin, and tonight I have John Barricelli, who's the chef and owner of Sono Baking Company.for in South Norwalk. He's also just become an author and has a new book out, Sono Baking Company Cookbook. Barricelli is a third-generation baker who began his cooking career more than 25 years ago at the prestigious Culinary Institute of America at Hyde Park, New York. He has worked in New York City restaurants such as the River Cafe and the Four Seasons restaurant, and has been a business restaurant owner for 20 years. He's the host of Everyday Baking for Everyday Food and the co-host of Everyday Food on PBS. John is also a frequent contributor to the award-winning Martha Stewart Show. John is currently the owner of Sono Baking Company and Cafe in South Norwalk.
The day of the release of the book, she had us on live, and she spoke very highly of the book, and I think there was a little envy in her tone of voice, but she took it well. And
well, that's a touchy thing, because you're kind of doing.
Well, she's got 40-something or 50-something books, so this is my first. So, I'll never outdo her.
No, but I mean, it's a beginning, because I think once you start and you have a brand, so to speak, you then can go do the next thing and do a different variation, and,
right.
And the people, you get a following, and which you already have, it seems.
Yeah, we have a great fan base, and I'm quite humbled by it. I get emails now on Facebook and Twitter, and we seem to have a little fan club out there, which you don't even think of, but.
Well, you have your websites. What is it, so that people?
SonoBaking.com, www.sonobaking.com. It's a great website.
And you have some of the, I mean, you were on the Today Show. Some of your
right.
baking demonstrations are kind of.
Yep, we have it there, and then also YouTube. You can go back and get all of our appearances on Martha on either marthastewart.com or YouTube. There's all these different avenues now I don't even watch the show live or the day that it comes out, because I never, I'm always working, so who's around the television? But I try to catch up and see. You always learn how you perform on TV by watching yourself, you know that.
Right.
And for people that have a hard time being on TV,
right,
it's like, it's hard to look at yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
But I think now, I mean, I'm just looking at Jamie Oliver's stuff, is that he's very natural and very like, here I am,
Right.
I mean, I just got up, so it's not so, but anyway, I also think now people want to cook more. I mean, they want to be in control of the ingredients, because all this worry about food, what's in it.
Yep, I
and
agree.
Also economically so I think there's real fascination with cookbooks now beyond what was the usual thing.
When we did this book, the thing that was so easy, in fact, we didn't even have a stylist. We didn't have a prop stylist or a food stylist. It was Ben, the photographer, and myself, and basically my pastry chefs that were putting the product out. But, that's what made this book so natural, was that we didn't...
You had an editor, I guess.
Well, we had but still, I mean, but when it came time to shooting the book, I mean, these are absolutely real. I mean, there's nothing fake. In fact, the cover photo, it's funny, it was one year ago today that we were doing Taste of New Haven, and these little tarts were going to New Haven for a nice charity event, and I said to Ben, let's just shoot this. So Ben shot the tray of mini pastries going by, and who knew that it would end up being the cover of the book? But there you go. So
well, I love that it's that you just got the you didn't show the whole tart. It's
right.
kind of a nice tease, sort of, and brings you into the book. So
exactly.
It's very, very nicely designed.
So.
And as far as writing the text, I mean, besides the recipes, how is that for you?
Well, I hired Pamela Cannon was my writer, but we sat down many times and many conversations on the phone. How would you do this? How would you do that? Basically getting my voice and putting it into words, because I'm not the best of writers, but I do have a way of talking that she tried to capture and put into the book. But every little story in there is either family-based or past experience-based, which gives the book a little bit more of a feel of me and the bakery. We were very, very happy that the publisher kept the Sono Baking Company. I mean, Sono's special to us because we kind of like the area down there, and we're very, I guess we're pro-Sono. So it was very important that we kept the Sono word in there. We were kind of trying to figure out if we should put everyday food in there or everyday baking or something like that.
Yeah,
but,
no, I
you
think
know, after my TV career's over, Sono will always be there. So we went with that direction.
And as far as another book, what would you, I mean, that's...
We're actually putting a proposal together right now. ClarksonPot is interested in a second book. The first book is selling so well that we're fortunate enough to have the opportunity to do a second book. And we're trying to do something along the lines of fruit, baking with fruit and kids and family and stuff like that.
A more holistic kind of...
Well, just a little bit more simple, little fewer ingredients. You know, there's some complicated recipes in here. I mean, we have the basic stuff that you can do by hand, all the way up to, you know, croissants that take 3 days. So this is a nice blend from the novice up to the experienced baker. But the next book, we're hoping to be a little bit more family-oriented, maybe more along the lines of everyday baking, where we take few ingredients, maybe do, you know, simpler muffins and, you know, really...
I think that's nice if you're at a farmer's market shopping. But I think it's good to start from, for example, I am not a good baker, but I'd like to learn how to bake. My daughter's really interested in baking. And, you know, you practice with the easy stuff, and then you get more confident, and you want a little bit of challenge at the end of the story.
I say this all the time, and I'm an IKEA fan, IKEA, you know, the furniture, and I say, if you can put together one of those, you know, entertainment systems out of a little thin flat box with the instructions, I said, it's the same as baking. Have all your ingredients there, make sure you have everything in place, make sure your oven's level, make sure that you have the pots, the pans, and everything, and it's just following instructions. I mean, it's not that we're reinventing the world. Baking is one of the oldest, you know, professions in history, so we're just, you know, redoing it a little.
Taking the mystique out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, like I said, there's some muffins in here that don't even require anything but a bowl and a whisk. You know, corn, there's the thumbprint corn muffins here on the back. These little muffins, I mean, I did them for Channel 8, a little competitor of yours, and the woman said, where's your machine? Where's this? Where's that? I said, you just need a bowl and a whisk and the muffin tins. I mean, that was it. And an oven, of course, but... You know, so there are some very, very simple recipes. And a lot of things we do by hand. We don't even use a whisk and a bowl. So
that's good. That's fun. I like that. But you know what else I think is fascinating is with the iPad coming out, I see, and I don't know what you think about this, is that the video part of a cooking demonstration with the text, where you have, because you know, when you're watching a TV show, you have to write down the stuff or go to the website. They're not together. And I see that as, I don't know if they're doing that yet, but it seems like a natural to me that you have both where they're married, the video and the text are right there. It's perfect for
There's
cooking.
Different names. There's webcasts and web pods and all these different names that are being used right now. But you're right. So many more people are on smartphones and computers than they are watching TV these days. So it would make more sense to go on the direction of a web-based program as opposed to a TV program.
Or I mean, a book on that your book can be also on. I still love print. I mean, I think I hope it doesn't
nothing will ever.
disappear.
It's kind of like a phonograph. You always like the records.
But the ebook thing where they, because I've seen the Nook where they just have text, and then but with the iPad you can have, you know, video, and then you have text in the same space.